We will be creating vector store now, and the vector store creation would be in OpenAI itself. I'll not be using any other vector database as of now. In future videos, we'll see whether we can create vector database using PostgreSQL or not. But right now, we'll be creating a vector store in OpenAI, and the vector stores would be from files. And this is how the process would be. We already have the OpenAI servers. The OpenAI servers are already there because we have logged into it using platform.openai.com, and the models are stored in the OpenAI servers itself. Now, when I say servers, it contains both compute capability and storage. So it's not only compute, it's storage also, along with a lot of other things. Now let's say we have these internal files which are not there in internet. These are files which are specific to our organization, which are specific to our business, and these are very sensitive files, and we do not want to keep these files in the internet. So because the files are internal, the models, any models that you can think of, the GPT series of models, Gemini, Claude, etc., none of them are trained using these files. But we have to use these files using the GenAI models provided by OpenAI. Now, these files can be in cloud storage or it can be in our local machine also. In most of the cases, it would be in cloud storage or it would be on data centers of the organizations. As we want to use the GenAI models to generate content or generate response using these internal files, we have to somehow make these files available to the OpenAI models, which are the GPT series of models. And the way it is done is using the vector embedding that I have already shown you. And the vector embeddings are stored either in vector store or vector database. Now the OpenAI servers that are there, they provide two components for end users like us. The first one is the file storage, wherein you can store the file, the raw file that is, and then the vector store. These are two completely different components. File storage is separate and vector store is separate. File storage would contain the raw files and the vector store would contain the vector embedding of the files that we provide to OpenAI servers. Now, as per the process, we'll have to upload these internal files to OpenAI's file storage. So these are internal files, we'll have to upload them to the file storage. Now, once it is uploaded, let's say it is a PDF file or a document or a Word doc, it can be anything. The files should be uploaded as is. The files will not be changed. So the file storage would contain the raw files with the raw data. Now internally, when we load the files to vector store, there are APIs available. The files are loaded after a model creates the vector embedding for these files. Now the vector store in OpenAI servers would contain the vector embedding of the files that we upload in the file storage. And then when we load the files in the vector store, these are the vector embeddings of the files. Now, after the vector store is created, we have the GPT models, and these models can use the vector store to get information about the organization, or it can get internal information from the files that have been uploaded to the file storage, and the applications can use the GPT models to get response from these internal files. We'll do a complete exercise using an imaginary file, and also I'll give you an exercise to create an application that will read these internal files. Anyway, this is the process, this is the entire flow, how the internal files or how the files which are not available in internet, we can make them available to the GPT series of models of OpenAI. We'll have to upload the raw files in the file storage provided by the OpenAI servers, and then we'll have to load the files to the vector store. Now, while loading, OpenAI will automatically convert the file in their corresponding vector embedding. And there are multiple steps for this. So let's look at the steps. First, we'll have to upload the file in the file storage. And the maximum size of a single file can be 512 MB. It cannot be more than that. If we have to upload files which are more than 512 MB, we'll have to use a vector database. And the way we upload the files is using file streams. This is something which is provided by Python. We do not need any separate tool from OpenAI to upload the file stream. And we also provide the purpose of these uploads, whether the files would be used as assistants, or we want to use these files for fine-tuning the GenAI model, or a batch upload, or vision, or user data. Vision is essentially for image analysis, batch is for batch upload, and user data can be used for any type of file upload. In most of the cases, we'll be using user data unless we are planning to fine tune the GenAI model. I'll talk about fine tuning later on. All right, now how do you upload the file? This is how the Python code would be. This is a simple Python code. We'll have to open the file in binary format, read binary. That's why you have this RB, and here you provide the file name. Now after this, we'll use the OpenAI client followed by files.create. Now what it would do, it would create the file or upload the file in the OpenAI server. And we'll have to pass the file data as binary stream. Now the reason this file data would be a binary stream because we are reading the file in binary and putting it in the variable file underscore data. So the variable file data would upload the file as binary stream, and then we'll have to provide the purpose. And here I have provided the purpose as user data. In most of the cases, it would be user data. Assistance is something that is not used. It has been replaced by the responses API that I have talked about, but the responses API also provides something called file search or tool using tools, which is the next topic of discussion. So after the file is uploaded, the files are available in the OpenAI server's file storage. It has not been converted into vector embeddings yet. Then what we do, we capture the file IDs and then we create the vector store. And using this API, we create the vector store, client.vector_stores.create, and then we provide the vector store name. Now what it does, it just creates a logical identity for your vector store. It does not upload the file yet. After the vector store is created, then we load the vector store from the file data. And this is the way we upload the file, client.vector_stores.file_batches.create and poll. Now the API here is create and poll. There are two APIs available, create and poll and upload and poll. The difference between these two is that we use the create and poll when the files are already uploaded to OpenAI file storage or to OpenAI cloud, which is backed by Azure. And the second API, which is upload and poll, is used when the files are in the local machine. So the files would be read, then it would be converted into vector embedding, and then it will be uploaded or stored in the vector store. In most of the cases, you should use create and poll rather than upload and poll because upload and poll might be very slow. By the way, this entire process is not as fast as you'd think. The reason is pretty obvious because you'll have to upload the file, you'll have to upload huge files, and then using the OpenAI APIs, we'll have to convert the file into vector embeddings. In this API, which is create and poll, you'll have to pass multiple parameters like vector store ID, the file IDs, and chunking strategy, which I have talked about earlier. So first is the vector store ID, which is nothing but the ID that you get after you create the vector store. So this is where we created the vector store and it would return an ID. So we'll be using this ID in the vector_store_ID parameter. The second option is the file IDs, which has to be provided in an array. If there is one file, then it would contain only one file ID. If there are multiple files, the array would contain multiple file IDs. And the file IDs are provided after we upload the file. So each operation will provide us the file ID. And then we mention the chunking strategy. By default, the chunking strategy is auto, which means that OpenAI will decide what should be the chunk size token and what should be the chunk overlap token size. But if we want, we can provide our own chunking strategy. And to do that, we'll have to use the type as static. And then we'll have to provide the parameters max chunk size tokens and chunk overlap tokens in the static keyword. And these two would be the numbers. I would recommend that you use the type as auto, which is the auto chunking strategy. And if you do not provide the parameter chunking strategy, OpenAI will use the auto chunking strategy. So this is how we create a vector store from files. The files can be PDF files, it can be Word documents, Excel files, it can be PowerPoint presentation, it can be images, it can be scanned documents, anything of that sort.